What up, everybody? It's your boy PTK BLAM back with another episode of the Shop Podcast, episode number 37. We appreciate you guys rocking out with us. I know we started a little bit late, had some technical difficulties, but we are here, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us on another beautiful Saturday afternoon for some gaming topics. Got some of the usual suspects here. First things first, I'm going to let everybody here on the panel go around, let everybody know where they're from. Most of you guys already know who they are, but we still do things that way here on the Shop Podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and let my right hand man, the governor himself, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
What's up, everybody? It's GKB, aka the Governor. How's everybody doing out there? Love the community, love you all, you guys. Great to be on the Shop Podcast. Gonna talk some awesome games and topics tonight, so stay tuned.
For sure. And then we got Mr. X Bot himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
What's going on, people? Yo, PTK, yo, thank you for having me on this. It's one of my favorite podcasts, man, and it's always an honor to join you guys and talk games.
For sure, we appreciate it, man. I know we do this back-to-back thing. Would you call it the Gamers Block? What was it?
Gamers Block, man. You got the
Gamers Block.
Next podcast, you got the shop, and then you got game time. What?
Yeah, for sure, man. We do it here on Saturday, man. So yeah, I know you just fresh out of your podcast, so I appreciate you taking the time out to jump into mine, brother. It really means a lot to me. Then we got Mr. Predator here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
What's going on, everybody? It's Predator. Glad to be back. I feel like I haven't done a podcast in a couple of weeks, so let's get this shit rolling.
Hey, all right, everybody. So once again, the chat is live, man. I'm taking questions. I got a few topics that we're gonna go over, and then after that, you know what I mean, I take questions right out of the chat. I love to get you guys feedback. I love to get you guys interaction. So let's just go ahead and dive right the fuck into it. So the first thing we're going over here today, you know, everybody's been talking about it. It's the biggest thing that happened this week, and that's the Titanfall 2 tech test that just happened, just rolled out Friday. Everybody has an opinion on it right now, so I figure why not talk about it. So we'll go ahead and get started with you, GKB, man. How have you been feeling that Titanfall 2 tech test, man?
Man, I'm kind of like 50-50 with it right now. We gotta bear in mind that, hey, it's a tech test, essentially a beta, it's pre-alpha stuff. But what I'm really not liking right now about it is, you know, just it's slower than the original Titanfall, man, and a lot of people we were playing with, you know, had a lot of the same sentiments. It feels more like Call of Duty and less like Titanfall, which I think is a step backwards in my opinion. I don't like you can't customize the Titans anymore. They're very just specific, almost like, you know, Destiny characters, like it's a Titan, you know, hunter and all that kind of stuff, and they have special abilities. I would really like to change up my Titan and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now, man.
Yeah, you know what? And honestly, I've seen a lot of back and forth on Twitter. You know, in the Xbox community, PlayStation community, you know, between a lot of Xbox guys, a lot of people are saying the game's a lot slower. Like GKB said, keep in mind it is a tech test, so things can still change. But let's not forget, people, the game is launching in October. I don't know how much you can get done in that period of time. So the game is pretty much what it is at this point. You know, maybe some minor changes. Maybe there's a lot they can do in 2 months. I don't know. I'm not a dev, but I would think if the game's launching that close, there's not much they're actually going to change. There's going to be some tweaks here and there, maybe some game modes, some cosmetic things that they may change. But
we got to think about it,
I don't know.
Is like this build we're probably playing is probably like 10 builds behind, you know, what they're already on.
Yeah.
You know, so.
The build is from June. I believe they came out and tweeted today.
Okay, so the build is from June. Okay. All right. So it's not too far back.
Yeah,
it's not too far back. And like I said, October, June, October, that's not a whole lot of time. These games take time, but maybe they'll get a lot done in that period of time. So what are you thinking about this Titanfall 2 tech test, Xbox?
Well, I definitely agree on the speed. It feels like there's an extra layer of stuff that just kind of weighs the game down compared to the first Titanfall. Now, when you say about changes can be made and stuff, I was talking to the Don about this, and he says, yeah, you know, you could bump up the speed of the game. But I was thinking about it. If they bump up the speed of the game, doesn't that mean they have to tweak the weapons? They have to go back and retweak the grappling hook? Because the grappling hook goes by momentum. So if you make the game faster and you don't tweak the grappling hook, that means like if you go off and you know, you grapple something at a high rate of speed, like if you're wall running or something like that, and then you let go, like you could fly off the map. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot more to it than just upping the speed. You have to go back and kind of retweak everything to do that. I don't think they're doing that. I think the speed that you see, even though this is pre-alpha and this is a stress test on the servers, I think this is the speed that we are going to get. Now,
Yeah.
just one more thing real quick. Our 11-year-old actually pointed something out to me because I had a big problem when I jumped on a Titan as a pilot, just pulling out the battery. I was like, what does this do? You know what I'm saying? It makes that weaker and stuff like that, but I like shooting into the thing and blowing it up. Come
Yeah.
to find out, if you take that battery and jump on one of your teammates' Titans, you can
Yeah,
actually
heal it.
heal it.
Put it back in, yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you can
know
put it
that.
back in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting right there. That's a gameplay mechanic that seems like it's a next step type thing. But all in all, like the speed is definitely slower. I like the speed of the first Titanfall a lot better.
Hey, Xbox, let me ask you this too, man, because like you were talking about like jumping on the back of the Titan, and I've kind of felt this way, and I want to see how you felt about it. Is, I don't really like the dropping the grenade in and then getting pushed off the Titan because you're already at a disadvantage fighting a Titan to begin with. So I think that's kind of a broken mechanic in my mind as well. What do you think about it?
I definitely like what they did with the original. I love having that rodeo effect and having to stay on and kind of shoot at the power cell. I thought that it was like a battle within a battle. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I remember on the first Titan, I used to get out of my Titan and try to shoot the people off, and it was an interesting mechanic on the first one, and I really don't think they needed to take that away
I
for the
agree with you.
sequel.
Hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
True.
Good opinions. Good opinions. Yeah, I was playing a little bit last night myself, and I played a little bit this morning. And I did notice some of those gameplay mechanics too. And GKB did point out that, like you said, you're already at a disadvantage. And one thing I noticed, I don't know if you two noticed, is that the map design is a little bit different. It's a lot less going on, and it's a lot less conducive to pilots versus
Campers.
Titans.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
camping.
a
A lot of
lot. Oh
camping,
my
yeah.
goodness, I know. A lot of us aren't familiar with the map, so people are kind of not moving as much.
Hmm.
Maybe within the next few months, people will get more familiar and they're more comfortable moving around. But I just noticed that the map, there's a lot less chances to do the wall running and to take advantage of your agility as a pilot versus a Titan.
Well, here's the
You know
other
what I'm
thing too,
saying?
man.
So that was there in Titanfall 1.
Here's the other thing too is as far as the map goes too. This is where I keep going back to. It feels like Call of Duty is. It's very almost like 3-lane, a lot of in and out stuff where you can hide and stuff, and that's a lot of Call of Duty stuff too. And I know Infinity Ward. I mean, Respawn is the original guys from Infinity Ward, and they kind of have that background. But I thought they did really good. Shying away from all that stuff from the first Titanfall, and it seems
Yeah.
like they're going back to their safety net with the second one because it's going to be on more platforms and stuff, and maybe they're trying to even make it appeal to some of them COD guys as well. So I don't know. I think it's a step backward
That
for
would
the
be a
Xbox
safe
guys.
assumption. I think that's definitely a safe assumption. I think that it's going multi-plat. You got to kind of cater to the crowd. I'm not, like I said before, I'm not. I mean, I have something to compare the game to, which is Titanfall 1. So I feel like I'm well qualified as an Xbox owner to make these critiques within the game. But
Yeah.
I share the same sentiments. I share the same sentiments about how the game feels. It's a little too straightforward. That was the thing that made Titanfall 1 stand out. You could get in engagements at not only horizontal, on the ground, face to face, but also vertical levels at different levels throughout the stage. Combat a lot different. Combat was a lot more fluid. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's less sticky. Like being a pilot, like I don't know why like wall running and jumping feels a little less sticky to me. Like it's not
A
as
little
tight.
more floaty, right?
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
more floaty. Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know if that's just maybe just the servers or I don't know maybe lag. I'm not sure. But go
It
ahead,
might be.
Fred.
It
I know
might
we
be.
hadn't
Oh,
gotten
my
to you
bad.
yet. Go
Go
ahead. You
ahead,
good?
Xbox.
You
Finish
good?
what you're saying.
No, I was just gonna say that floaty feeling might have to do with the momentum physics for the grappling hook. I know not every character has it, but they might have had to make like a foundation of those momentum physics that go across like all pilots, just to accommodate for people who do have the grappling hook, which I'm not saying is right to do. It's kind of like it's a developer shortcut. You know what I'm saying? One person has a special ability, but they kind of have to
Even
put
it
that
out for
physic
everyone.
in on every pilot. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, go ahead, Fred.
Well, my takeaway, I played. I got a code like the second day that everyone else got there. So, um, my takeaways is to kind of add to what everyone else was saying. Like I do feel like it's sluggish. I feel like it's a little slower, and I feel bad for the fans who didn't get a chance to play the original Titanfall because they're not going to get what we got, like the fun we got out of that game originally. So
Yeah.
they're not. I feel like they're getting a. Again, this is a tech version, so like I mean, this could change a little bit in the final product, but I don't think they're getting the product that we got. You know, from what I've seen so far. I feel like the Titans are a little bit weaker. To me, they seem like they go down a lot easier than they did in the original Titanfall.
Yeah.
I feel like I get in a Titan. I feel I should be a little bit more invincible, but I feel like I'm getting this like ripped to shreds by everything else that's around me. You know, maybe it's because I suck at the game.
Yeah, there's a lot more counters to the Titan now. Also, too.
Yeah.
They added a lot more counters to the Titans. So
I mean, which is fine because I thought sometimes the Titans were a little bit overpowered in the original, so this balances out
original
a little
one, yeah.
bit. What GKB was saying, like I did not like the rodeo animations on this go around. I'd rather stay on the Titan and shoot into it than to get shot up, pulled out, and pulled off. And maybe that's something they can fix later and give the option to either stay on and pull the battery or just open the container and shoot into it. So, my biggest pet peeve from the first Titanfall that's been carried over into this one were the ejection animations. When I was playing, the very first day I was playing, if my Titan got destroyed and I ejected, it shoots you straight up in the air, which makes you just the easiest target ever because you're just floating in the air. There's nothing you can do at that point. So every time I ejected out of a Titan, I got shot. I got killed. I never survived. And I wish they'd have a different animation where it gives you the option to either shoot up or shoot out of the Titan, like forward instead of out.
Forward,
straight up in the air. I have not seen the smart pistol in this game so far. I think it's an unlock.
Awesome.
But I hated it. I hated the smart pistol. So I haven't seen that. And I know you can get a pistol as an unlock. I don't know if it's a smart pistol. I've not seen it in the game. I've not been killed by it yet so far.
Well, they did say the smart pistol is going to be in the game, but they said they did a bunch of changes to it, so we'll see.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
And those are like my main takeaways that haven't been discussed already. I mean, I had this game like as a possible buy. Because I'm not a huge Titanfall fan. I think I would play it just to see what the storyline is like now. But because I'm getting Battlefield, and then we had this debate a while: Battlefield, Titanfall, or Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah. And so I had Battlefield 1 already pre-ordered, and then it was going to be like, okay, let me see how I feel about the other two. And if I had to go based off what I've seen so far, I had to put Titanfall at third.
Okay.
What did everybody think about the new slide mechanic? Because I thought it was actually one of the better things that they added to the game.
Oh, that's awesome. I like the fact that that slide is pretty slick. Another thing I noticed too, as far as I don't know how I feel about the map yet. As far as like the radar.
That sonar.
That sonar is a piece of shit. Oh, sorry.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's all right, brother. I couldn't. I mean, maybe it's just I know I haven't had a lot of time with it, but I felt like it was a little bit more it was a little easier to tell between like where pilots are actually. I was getting killed. Like I was playing last night, super late last night, and like there was red around me, but there was no like discernment on where the red was at. Like, or is he above me? Is he below me? I mean, I know they're not gonna tell you like exactly where he was at, but I felt like the map could use a little bit of tweaking. The radar on the map could use a little tweaking. And you're right, those little fucking things they throw out, the little radar grenades or little sticks they throw out. They're kind of annoying. I can see people spamming the hell out of those things. It's not that different from the sonar you got. You had sonar in the first game, which was I guess technically the same thing. It kind of painted you on the map. Everybody could kind of see you.
Yeah, but this one highlights you a lot more, man.
Yeah, it's like it gives you a big ass, freaking crayon color around your whole body. So yeah.
And I couldn't destroy it either. I was trying to shoot one.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get rid of this and kill it, break it or whatever. But I couldn't even shoot it. Like it's just there. You can't do shit with it. Just gets sucked up and.
It's like the black box in an airplane, man.
Yeah, man. You can't do shit to it, man.
Can't do anything to it. Yeah. So okay. All right. I figured we get that out of the way, man. Everybody had a real strong opinion on it. I know a lot of people have been talking about it on Twitter. I'm just been going back and forth. I've seen some Xbox dudes even getting into it about it. But, hey.
BLAM. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but just one thing real quick, because I know there's another stress test slated for next weekend as well. How would you feel if they took out, like, that they took out a couple of the game modes, added an attrition in there to show you what it's like, and maybe switched up the maps to a couple different maps. Do you think that could possibly save that kind of like, because there's a lot of people that are 50-50 on it now. Do you think if they show the attrition and give you a more vertical map as well, if that could kind of save that 50-50 and lean it more towards Respawn's favor?
For me, well, go ahead, GKB. Go ahead.
For me, it's not so much the maps that's really the problem for me. It's just the overall gameplay is just not as tight as the old one. It's slower to me. It's just even if they added like some verticality and some other stuff, there's just those other problems that I see with it already in this one that I don't feel like. You even said too, like the speed's probably not going to change, and you're probably right. So I mean, that's the bigger things for me.
That's the absolute biggest thing in my opinion. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I don't think changing the map, is going to do too much for it. I mean, obviously, I want to see new maps. I want to see a couple different maps.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
It'll add to the excitement of the game. Yeah, I mean, especially if they're cool maps, a lot of verticality, a lot of different, maybe different settings, things like that. That's going to be dope. But I don't think, I mean, that's not going to change the mechanics. That's not going to change the way the game plays or feels.
She was playing the new update now. She said it feels faster than it did before. So
see.
Okay. We're gonna have to go in and see, man.
Yeah.
She said
I will say, like, when the original Titanfall, when it came out, like when I played it when it first came out, and then I stopped playing for a while, I came back and played it like several months later. It played completely different. It seemed like it got better. So maybe that's something they can fix.
Yeah, we'll see.
Later.
We'll definitely see. That's what we're expecting, honestly. This is just a stress test, tech test, whatever you want to call it. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure there's things that they can tweak in between time. So let's go ahead and move on from that, everybody. Shout out to everybody here who's watching us live too on this Saturday afternoon. Appreciate it. Like I said before, sorry for the late start. We had some technical issues, but we're rolling now. So the next thing I wanted to bring up, guys, I don't really like to get into this too much. I'm not the biggest tech guy here even on the panel, especially not on Twitter. That's for sure. But I definitely, sure. It's just like a black eye to me. But it's I want to talk about the 4K. The 4K Scorpio has been confirmed. Here, Albert Pinello did a great interview with shout out to Tick Podcast. All those guys over there, Kaleo and B Money. They're doing great things over there. But he did a great interview over there with those guys. Pretty much confirmed what most of us already knew. I know there was still a lot of people out there kind of confused about if the actual games were going to be in 4K 60 frames. Was it possible for the system to actually push those type of numbers? So I kind of wanted to get you guys' opinion about it. Like I said before, most of us here, especially here on this panel, kind of figured that was the case already, but figured I'd ask you guys' opinion anyway. So we'll start with you, Fred.
Like you said, man, everybody knew it was coming. So I like the transparency Microsoft is having now, because there's always been a PR issue with them for since the reveal, and every time there's been something that somebody comes out and kind of tries to put words in their mouth, Microsoft has been able to come out and say, no, this is what we mean. Don't twist our words and say something else. This is what we mean. So I'm glad Pinello came out and said what he said to kind of hush up the naysayers. My only thing, I think, when I listened to the interview, and it made it seem like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but doing 4K is up to the developer. Am I right on that? Did I catch that right?
Yeah.
So,
100% correct.
Yep.
I'm actually working on a video for tomorrow for this. But I'm going to jump into this now. This is a problem we've had with Microsoft and their innovation. The developers do not use it. And if you're given the option, I'm not saying they have to force it down their hands, but and I asked this question, I think, at one of GKB's podcasts. I said, do you think other developers are going to use HDR? And you said no because of the parity. And this is going to be the same issue. If they're going to play to the least common denominator. So if Sony can't do 4K and on one of their games, they're probably going to or HDR and 4K at 60 frames per second, they're going to scale their game down a little bit because they don't have to. They don't have to make it as powerful as they need to. And I'm glad Pinello came out and said what he said, but I think leaving it in the hands of the developers it may come back and bite them later. I know their games, Microsoft's games, are going to look great.
The first party games.
Yeah, when you start getting these third party games, they're not going to push the system to what it can handle.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, and that's kind of been something that's underlying too. Like you said before, they're gonna play to the least common denominator as far as these studios go. So we do want to make that clear too. I've said that before, like a couple podcasts ago about where developers I'm not gonna say they're lazy, but they're the extra time, the extra resources, and extra money that they may have to put in to push the game to that actual point. Sometimes isn't actually worth it, especially when you're making like a multi-platform game. There's deadlines. There's things that they have to do. They have a budget. I don't know how much extra time or cost pushing games to that actual point, takes. And I'm not a developer, but I know, anytime I've seen plenty of developer interviews where they're like, "We're trying to get from point A to point B. All that extra shit, I'm not trying to do all of that. We're trying to get this game made, to the best of our ability." Now, some studios may go that extra mile and take advantage of that, but like he said, they're just more than likely a majority of them aren't going to push games to that point, especially if you're giving them an option. If you're not just saying, "Hey, this is an exclusive game. This is what we want," especially from Microsoft, and they've kind of done that this generation. They've kind of just let the developers, put everything in their hands, gave them tools, and said, "Hey, if you want to do it, go ahead. If not, that's fine too." So let's go ahead and get your opinion, Xbox. How do you feel about the Scorpio 4K game being confirmed?
Oh man, I can talk forever about this, and I know that's not what this podcast is about. But first of all, 4K 60 frames per second, it's all well and good. I'm not sure about open world games though. Open world games are incredibly taxing on hardware, so I'm not sure if that 4K 60 means that. I do like the fact that Microsoft says, "Hey, but it's up to the developers." Here's the thing when it comes to third party. All right, here's the thing I think Microsoft has, and that's called Play Anywhere. If they can sell third party developers and publishers, like if they sell EA on putting developing these games on the UWP, the game will automatically scale. All right, and plus you're telling them, well, hey, with that, look how many Windows 10 users we have, and stuff like that. That's why I felt like Quantum Break was kind of a misstep going to Steam, because they can use this to get third-party games developed on the Universal Windows platform and let the developers put in that extra line or two of code to make the game scale. All right, so I feel like with the UWP involved, I want to see how third-party developers will adopt that now. Because if they do adopt that, then you're going to see a crazy transition in terms of the games that you see on the Project Scorpio without
Yeah.
with only like 2 extra lines of code to put in for it to scale. Now, just one more thing is overall 4K native resolution. For anybody who follows me, I'm not about overall resolution. I would rather see more power, more of the power going to upgrading the textures to 4K textures, improving the lighting. With DirectX 12, you can have multiple sources of lighting, which can really add to a game and stuff like that. So that's where I would really like to see the power go. And then if they can, yeah, do a native 4K. But if it has to be upscaled, no big deal either.
Awesome, awesome, good breakdown. Like I said, I'm not the biggest tech tech guy here on the panel, but like you said, I mean the resources, are being used. You know what I'm saying? I like to see them spread out also too myself. So that's an awesome analysis here. I know we're gonna get into to Governor. He may have his own breakdown also too. So GKB, how do you feel, man, about this news being confirmed? Is it something like I said before? I'm pretty sure we've talked about it before. We've had conversations offline. I know you knew already it was already going down, but
Yeah.
go ahead and give your breakdown.
Um, Look, I think it's cool that he's coming out and saying, "Hey, yeah, games are going to be 4K 60." Now, like everybody said, third party is going to do what third party does. I've always been on the train of I don't really care about resolution. Let's use this power to make bigger, better worlds, better games for us to play. I think that's where that all needs to go. Um, and I wanted to touch something on like what Predator was saying about they build games for the least common denominator, and that's true for the most part until it comes to Sony. As we've seen most of this gen, Sony's been the higher resolution, where Microsoft's been the lower resolution for most point, and they're not making that parity. But we have seen it where it's the other way around, where if Xbox has the power advantage, it has to be dumbed down to the other one. And and we're gonna see a lot of that, to continue. But it's really cool, 4K 60. That's fantastic for everyone that cares. But I like to see the power go to other places, honestly.
Definitely. Good points. Good points being made, everybody. Good points being made. So looks like unless anybody has something else to chime in on about the whole 4K situation, looks like we're gonna start taking questions here. Got a lot of people here in the chat. We appreciate you guys rocking out with us. So go ahead and throw your questions in the chat. You know me, I like to do this. I like to get the everybody involved. This in the chat. Everybody that's watching this live. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling, everybody. So any questions that you have, go ahead and throw them in right now. I will present them to the panel, and we'll just roll through here probably the last 20, 30 minutes, take a few questions. So anybody have any questions? I don't know if I missed anyone
I haven't seen
since
any.
I've been looking at. Okay, all right. So shout out to everybody in the chat, too. I know She Wolf's in here. Got a few people. LL, few people down in here, too. Jalan, Chicken Spaghetti, man. We got you next week, brother. I know we had some issues here today, but man, we'll get those ironed out. Oh, Snaps in there.
There's a question from She Wolf.
Yeah,
She-Wolf,
say
what you got?
She-Wolf just popped up. We got another one from Solo as well.
Mr. Awesome. Okay, so we'll take that question. Shout out She-Wolf, man. The unofficial secretary for everybody on Twitter that does an Xbox podcast, man. So she keeps everybody organized and rolling. So shout out to you, She-Wolf. She said, "What do you guys think about the new ReCore trailer?" Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and present that to you first, GKB, because I know how much you've been looking forward. I'm looking forward to just as much as
Yeah.
you, but I know me and you've gone back and forth about this is probably one of our most anticipated games. So what do you think about that new trailer, man?
Man, I absolutely loved it. Like, there's just been I feel kind of sad lately because it's kind of been overshadowed with like Titanfall and Battlefield 1, and all these other great games. It's not getting its just due right now. But the trailer they showed and those pictures of like the customizability of the dog and everything, I thought was just mind blowing.
Oh my goodness!
I was just
Yeah,
like,
I tweeted that
yes.
to you on purpose.
I was like, that's what I wanted. That's what I was expecting. So I'm really hyped for this game. It's my most anticipated game. I really can't wait to dive into. And it's pro consumer, man. $40 for this game. So that's
$40.
fantastic deal.
Yeah. You know what? I heard nothing but great things. Shout out
Yeah,
to
same here.
everybody on Twitter who went to Gamescom because a lot of people played it on Twitter that we know of, and I heard nothing but good things about the game. A lot of people were saying that it was spot on as far as like a Mega Man / Castlevania type feel. Just how everything works. So I'm mwah. I know the game's gonna be beautiful. And I'm excited. I'm excited, man, because the only thing I'm worried about is that the game's going to get overlooked, and I hope it doesn't. I hope everybody goes out and supports this game. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. Those type of games may not fit everybody's play style. A lot of people like the big AAA games, but people, we're Xbox fans. We want to see these new IPs. We got to get out there, put our dollars behind. Every time they do something creative and have these types of games, we got to get out there and support it. $40. $40.
Yeah, it's $40,
You can't
man.
ask
I
for
think
too
I
much
saw
for
something in
$40.
the chat today on Twitter where they said, the sequel for ReCore will depend on how this one sells. So make sure you guys go out and buy
Exactly.
that game.
Yeah.
Support
So
this title.
go out and pick it up, man. Support it definitely. So Xbot, what do you think about the new ReCore trailer, man? How do you feel about it?
Dude, I'm hyped for the game just in general. I feel like Xbox needs a real good, like, almost classic platformer, which this ReCore is seeming to be, with a lot more, like, a lot of diversity in how you attack like the enemies and stuff, with having the different like color coded orbs and stuff like that you're using with your robot companions and your weapons and such. And of course, like, from what I've seen from the trailers throughout, it seems to have a difficulty level that I like, because I like a challenge in a platformer. I don't like just breezing through. Um, and it seems to have that challenge, and with a, with being able to attack the enemies in such different ways, it has a huge replay value too. I'm hyped for this game. If it wasn't for what I learned about Forza Horizon 3, it might be #1 on my list for most anticipated. But some of the features that they have in Forza Horizon 3 kind of like put that one over the top of ReCore for me right now.
Forza Horizon
Okay.
3 is gonna be really good too, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. The playground games, man. They just anything Forza. them in turn 10 have
It's
just
just
been like
quality, man.
they've literally like I think they go back and forth and be like, hey, this next game is shitting on y'all last game. Like they go to each other's studio like, hey, this Forza Horizon
probably
3
do.
it just killed that Forza 6 you put out. Like this, like so I really think they got a good relationship. They take so much time and the attention to detail in those games. Just it's ridiculous. They keep pushing the envelope with the games and everything. It's awesome.
I think Forza Horizon 2 was a really great game and it was a lot of fun, but I think Forza Horizon 3 is going to be something special. I think we're all in for a treat on this one.
I'm not even a
Yeah.
Horizon fan. I'm just a regular Forza fan, but I'm going to pick up Horizon 3 this year.
Dude, they finally have wide body kits in the game. You can make your own. Like, you can grab a race that's in the map, and then you can tailor the specifications as you want it. So say you're doing an off-road that has buggies, and you're like, man, I wonder what exotic cars would do on this. You can literally make that race, and it'll go up into online, and everybody can play that race that you just, like, did all the
Yeah.
specifications for.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's awesome. That's just they just keep adding so much diversity and content to those games.
Oh.
And I'm dying to see what Turn 10 is going to do with their next.
Yo,
Go ahead, get it out.
Calm down, Xbox.
Get it out. Get it out.
Yo, everybody likes background music, right? Everybody
Yeah.
likes. All right, check this out. In Forza Horizon 3, they have Groove Music Station that will let you play your Groove music, whether you have it free and you just put the music into your OneDrive, or if you have a subscription service to Groove, and you can literally switch over to that station and it plays your music for you in your car.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's the little stuff like that. It just the attention to detail is insane, man. The stuff
Dude,
I'm surprised at all the
PGR is
shit
like
they
that
fit into
too.
this game, man.
It reminds me.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Grand Theft Auto, like back in the day when it was over-the-top view, and you could take the game out of your PlayStation 1 and put a disc in, and it'll play the
Yeah.
music on the disc. That's what it reminds me
Yeah.
of, man.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so let's get your opinion on the ReCore trailer, Fred. I know you didn't get a chance to talk about it.
I was kind of like, I was gonna get the game, but I wasn't really hyped for it, And the more I hear about this game, the more I see that from this game, it just makes me want it more and more. So, I'm really hyped about this game, and I really was not impressed. Not say impressed because that's the bad word, but out of the list of games that are coming out here in the next couple of months, that one wasn't even on my radar. I was like, I'll get it, but I'll probably have to put it one of those games I put to the side and pick up whenever I get a chance. But I'm actually gonna probably get this right after Battlefield and play. Well, not after Battlefield, but Battlefield 1 was my first choice game for this next holiday push, and ReCore is probably number 2 right now.
Awesome. Glad to see ReCore getting some push, man. So I know I may have missed some questions. So if anybody sees a good question, just shout it out, man. Let me know.
I got a question for you guys, real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
With Deus Ex coming out on Tuesday, I was wondering who in here is kind of psyched about that game that kind of beat missions as you want to beat them, whether it's stealth, whether it's going all out, guns blazing, and stuff like that. Are any of you guys getting that? Are you hyped for this title?
Definitely. You know what? I feel like just from what I've heard, because I've seen some people, Gamescom. Shout out to everybody who went. I've seen some people say that game was incredible. It's kind of it's kind of slipping under the radar too a little bit with everything that's going on. It's kind of just sliding in. It's just gonna come out. I feel like it's gonna be a really good, well-made game. I honestly feel like from what I'm hearing and from just the last I saw that it's kind of what Metal Gear should have been.
Okay.
The last Metal Gear at least should have been. And I'm seeing a lot of comparisons. That's the only reason I brought it. I obviously haven't played it, but from the people that played it at Gamescom, I've seen shout out to Jez. He made that comparison that it feels like it's what Metal Gear should have been.
Yeah.
So if that's anything, Metal Gear was okay, but anybody who knows, that's the potential. So I think it'll be a great game. A lot of people will pick it up. Maybe not initially, but I think it'll have legs and people will pick it up as time goes by, just due to the fact that the story is good.
BLAM, I will let you know. I'm picking it up day one, man. I will let you know.
Oh,
sir.
no, definitely. Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of people that actually get maybe us here are probably going to pick it up, but I'm saying just, I hope people go out and support it. It is a multi-platform game, but I think it'll do well. You know,
I'm
I'm
thinking
excited
of
for
day
it.
one as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's fantastic looking game, man. I like the whole stealth part. You know me, I'm a Splinter Cell fanboy, so
Yeah.
anytime I get to run around, hide, and do all that kind of stuff, I'm all in. So, and
I
I
was
think the
just
story
talking
is
about
one of the best ones that it's like this whole like I forget what they call those guys with the augmentations. Um,
Yeah, I just call them augmented, but
yeah,
I know exactly what you're saying.
but the augmenteds versus like the regular humans, and they're kind of tired of it, and I just want to see how that all plays out.
hmm It's
Awesome.
got
Awesome.
like I know Human Revolution had an awesome story on, these augments are happening, but just because you can do it doesn't mean you should.
Should, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that whole story
Yeah.
unfolded incredibly in the last Deus Ex. So I want to see where it's going forward.
Yeah,
Definitely.
his
Definitely.
interaction
And I
too,
love
like
the way.
his interaction
Go
too
ahead.
with
Go
like
ahead.
when he was going on his first mission and stuff. His like commander was like, "Yo, am I gonna have any problem with you? Or are you gonna like twitch out and like we have to put you down?" kind of thing. I thought that was really cool and really set the tone for the rest of the game. So
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. So what about you, Fred? How you feeling about the
honestly,
Deus
I've
Ex?
not seen the trailer whatsoever. I've not. Your boy's been
Uh-oh.
busy, man.
You've heard
No, I got you.
Xbox. Yeah, you've heard
Yeah, I
Xbox.
know, right?
You heard it. You hear that
I've not seen
wind
the
just
trailer. I honestly, I've
release
never
from his
played
body, man?
any of the games in this series whatsoever.
Well, it
I
looks
feel
like
like
you need
I'd
to
just
go
get
buy it.
slapped right
Looks like
now.
everybody in the chat, we're gonna create a GoFundMe for Fred just to purchase this game. So if you want to donate
I'm looking
$1
at the,
50
I'm
cents,
actually
Yo,
watching
if
it
you
right
wait
now.
long
I'm
enough,
watching it right now.
Randall Thor will probably win one, and you can
I
ask
know,
him
just
for
borrow his, right? I'm
he
looking at the
probably got a whole
trailer now.
box sitting at the house already.
I mean, it looks
Yeah,
like my
no,
type of
but
game.
I think
I really have not
uh,
I've never played any of the games in the franchise, so I really don't know,
you're in
what it
for a
is or what
treat
it's
then, man.
about. So
I say give it a try, man. I'd say, in
Mhm.
my healthy opinion, give it a try, definitely, man. You're not going to be disappointed. If I know you fairly well, I like to think. I think you're going to like it, man. It's definitely your type of game. So I think, if you don't want to pick it up now, I understand, or maybe day one, but over time, give it a try. It may be something you can go back on, like, you know what, I'm going to try this out. So I'd say give it a try, definitely.
Dude,
I'll
just
just
It's a
I'll
thing.
just
upgrading the
win it. I'll
guns,
just win it.
upgrading the guns on the fly is amazing, yo.
yeah.
I'm looking at it. I
Awesome.
mean, it looks like a Splinter Cell-ish game. I can see the resemblance there.
hmm
Yeah, definitely. That's right up GKB alley.
Oh
Anything.
yeah. You know me.
So,
Did y'all?
I don't know. Speaking of, this is a little tidbit. You heard about Mr. Ironside coming back
I
to
just put that
Hell yeah.
in the chat.
GKB.
Just put that in
Hell
the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
super
know
hyped for that,
GKB
man.
is up on that.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's, we got a couple more questions here that we're gonna take, everybody. See if I missed anything, man. Don't forget, put all your questions in the chat. I appreciate you guys rocking out with us once again, sharing this time with us on this Saturday afternoon. So I see one here from Kelvin Brandon. Shout out to you, Kelvin, man. Appreciate you coming out listening. He said, "What do you guys think about the BF1 Xbox One Elite bundle?" So anybody got any opinions on that? Possibly.
I've
Mm.
never seen it.
You ain't seen it? I've
So
seen
you said
the
hold on,
picture.
I don't know the Elite
Battlefield
bundle.
1.
So is that the old fat one, but with the
You know
hybrid
what?
drive?
You know what? I don't know, because the one I saw was I think it was just like a fan made picture, but it was an S
Yeah.
with like the Battlefield guy on it. It wasn't like a custom console, but it was just a bundle that had Battlefield 1 with it. You got like an S. I don't know if it was a 2 terabyte or the 500 gig. I'm not even sure if there's an actual Battlefield 1 bundle coming out. The one I saw was like a fan made picture.
That's the one I
So
saw
I'm
too.
not sure. Yeah.
That's for
So
sure,
I'm
for
not
sure.
Yo,
exactly
Kelvin,
sure if
Kelvin,
this is a thing yet.
I was gonna say, Kelvin, if you're following me on Twitter, man, yo, send a picture to me, man. Yo, tweet it out at xbot448. I want to check it out, man.
Yeah, definitely, because I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I don't know if I hope they do something. I mean, I feel like don't they have the marketing rights? I believe I'm pretty sure they
Yeah,
have
they
the
Yeah.
marketing
Yeah,
rights
they do.
to BF1. So
It
I
makes
hope
me
they
wonder
do
if there's
something
gonna be
special
a
for it.
bundle. Like if they're gonna do
You
any
know what?
bundles between now and the
I thought I
holidays.
saw a custom controller for Battlefield 1. I thought I saw a controller, man. I'll have to look through my timeline on Twitter, but I thought I saw a controller for it, but it could have been another fan made, but there was like the cover in the background, and it was like half a controller. It was like cut off though. I don't know. I thought I saw a custom controller. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. But We'll have to see. So any other questions here in the chat? Yeah, Kelvin, get back to us on that, man, because a lot of us are kind of fuzzy about it.
Yeah.
Tweet us a
I got
picture
my
of,
eyes on Twitter right now, like as we're talking.
yeah,
I know I'm like going through it too.
yeah, for sure.
Yo, Kelvin's the man. Yo, he comes up with
For
things.
sure.
He's a part of a Facebook group called Xbox News for Xbox Gamers. This guy comes up with articles like I never knew existed. Like he's absolutely amazing with
Yeah.
like tracking down info.
Awesome,
Nice.
awesome, man. I love those type of questions, especially on things that I haven't heard about yet. Because it kind of piques my interest. So, got a question here from Chris Hall. Shout out to Chris Hall. He's always in here, man, rocking out, showing love and support for the Shop podcast. Shout out to you, Chris Hall. He said, "Did any of us play the games with gold? If so, what did you guys think? Anybody get a chance to play any of the games with goals games recently?
What
Yeah,
is games with
actually,
gold?
I was doing WWE 16, 2K16.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
We actually, I created the next podcast championship belt, and we're gonna have a don't pay per view event where
Oh
everybody
man.
from the podcast is going in on this event, and we're gonna do a Royal Rumble to see
Royal
who gets
Rumble.
this belt.
Hey, I
Yeah.
saw that. How the hell did you make that? I saw that. I was like, how did he manage to make that? Like, that
Yo,
was
dude, it's
incredible.
you go into my creations and you can literally you get a token and you can upload images from your computer, and I have a ton of
Shit.
PNG images and stuff like that from the 3D graphics that I made for Next and just a whole bunch of stuff, and you're able to bring it over to the game.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I didn't. I heard the customization for your actual person is crazy in that game. Like the
Yeah, it
customization for
is,
your
dude.
actual wrestler. If you decide to make like a just your own Build-A-Bear type wrestler, it's crazy. I haven't gotten a chance to play it, but I know. Shout
Oh,
out to
dude,
my
I
little
have.
bro, Elite Gamer, man. I know that's his shit. So I may download it just to play with him, man. But yeah, go ahead, Xbox.
Oh no, I was just saying I have my Redbubble Xbox certified T-shirt on my character. I have a white suit jacket that says Next across the back of it. I do my Chris Jericho entrance. Like, it's insane.
Awesome. So did GKB, Fred, and you guys get a chance to play anything? Any
Nope.
games with gold? No.
Yeah, I was playing that
Okay.
Spelunky game. Not a big wrestler
Okay.
guy, but I'm definitely gonna check that out. I mean, it's 2K16, so it's a nice AAA title there.
Might as well, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I know that Spelunky was that was the backwards compat, right? That was the one that was the games with gold, the 360.
Yeah, it's a 360.
Spelunky, or was that one? Oh, okay, it was 360. Yeah, I've heard of that game before. I never played it before, but it's like a little interesting indie type title. So we're
And
gonna take
Beyond
a
Good and
few more
Evil, too.
questions here, everybody.
Beyond Good
Oh,
and
that's
Evil
another
there
one. That was
is
another
there
one.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really
Yeah,
good
that's
game.
another one that was.
Yeah, that's an
definitely
absolute
360.
classic game. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Yeah, for sure. So if you guys haven't got a chance to pick it up, pick it up.
Hey,
So
did
I
you
don't know.
guys see Aaron getting off topic, sorry, but I just thought about this.
Oh, it's
Aaron
cool.
Greenberg had the Scorpio symbol pin. You don't see that?
Yeah.
That
You
was
know
pretty
what?
badass, man.
Before we move on, let me address something real quick. I don't do this that often because I don't usually get into it, but I saw some things on Twitter about people having a problem with the Scorpio emblem and people saying that it was a negative connotation, or just not necessarily saying that, but just having an issue with the whole Scorpio thing. Let people celebrate what they want to celebrate. Most of us here that I rock with on Twitter and our little community on Xbox on Twitter. We have these things going on. Even the Xbox executives that kind of have adopted that symbol. It's not negative in any way, shape, or form. One bad apple doesn't spoil the entire bunch. So don't put that on everybody saying, oh, well, if you have that symbol in your name or you rock that symbol, that you must be a fanboy. Don't do that. It's childish. It's a very narrow-minded way to think. And just leave it alone, people. Let us have fun. Let people that are doing it have fun. It's a support. We support the brand. And like I said before, even the executives, they have pins made up at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Like, come on, now.
Handing them
Let
out.
people have fun and do what they want. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a big deal out of it, everybody, because I usually don't do that. But I kind of had to address that a little bit, because it kind of was bothering me a little bit. So figured I'd say something about it. But back to the video games, because that's what we're here for. We ain't about that other shit. But we're gonna take a few more questions. Anybody else have any questions in the chat? I'm thinking maybe 2-3 more questions tops before we get out of here. I know it's gonna be a shorter show. We started a little bit late, like I said, everybody, but I want to be able to get you guys questions. So anybody got anything else they want to ask us here, or anybody on the panel, Xbox, maybe you got something that you want to say, or Pred, or even you, GKB. Go ahead, just blurt it out, man. We got plenty of time, so
I do see a
let me see
question
if I
from
missed
Mr.
anything.
Solo. It's
All right, go
probably a
ahead.
question you guys would get into. I'm not big on this game, but
Mhm.
what did you guys think about the For Honor footage from Gamescom?
I didn't see it.
I really didn't see it.
I didn't
Yeah, I
see
didn't
it.
see
See
the
it
new.
either?
Yeah, I didn't see the new For Honor stuff, but I'm really hyped for For Honor. It looks like a really cool game. So I can't wait to play it for sure, though.
The DLC potential for that game is like off the
I know,
chain.
dude.
You
They
know
can
they're
just do
gonna have
so
lines
many.
and lines of DLC for that game.
For sure.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. And that,
Yeah, that's,
and Xbot, you did. I think you were talking on another channel about this too. Like, it seemed like you had to kind of dig for information from Gamescom this year.
Yeah, a little bit.
And
Yeah, dude, like
so I missed a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't see, the trailer we were just talking about a while ago. I didn't see the For Honor trailer either. I had to go digging for it. And I'm used to having all that stuff given to me up front. Just watching the stream or something.
yeah, no, we talked about it on the next podcast tonight. It's like, man, Gamescom, I love Gamescom because not only is it like a place where, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo used to announce things, but it was also, the everyday gamer got to go in from day two all the way to the end of the conference and go in and get hands on with the stuff that they announced. So I felt like it had an added layer, like even over E3, and I feel really bad that like this conference is being treated the way it is right now.
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like that people are saying we had this discussion around E3. Me, GKB, Pred. I think it was brought up that people were saying that E3 was kind of losing its luster, and one of the things that we said that they could do, take the page right out of Gamescom's book and just make part of it. If I think it was E3 3 days, 4 days. I think it is. The total event. You know what I'm saying? At least make
Like 3-4 days.
3 or 4 days total. Yeah. So at least make part of it open to the public. I get it's a big media event, but if you want to draw people in, just open the goddamn thing up. It's in a big ass convention. Like, I'm sure you got room to open it up to the public. Attendance will shoot way up because who doesn't want to go to LA in the summertime?
Good point, man.
First of all, just that for the nice weather. Second of all, they're going to the biggest video game convention in North America. You know what I'm saying? So just open it up to the public. So, and you're right, you guys too, about the news not coming out of Gamescom and things kind of floating out here and there, and no huge announcements made or anything like that. So
there was another thing, like Peter Moore came out and said too. He's not sure about video game press conferences having a future, honestly. And I think that kind of goes back to like the whole like streaming and everything else. Like, it's just more cost effective in this type of business to do like streaming. Like, having these big events cost them tons of money to do.
So basically Nintendo is ahead of the curve.
Ahead of the curve, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah,
He's right.
Nintendo does it again. Yeah, does it again. We can't show anybody our console, but we're ahead of the curve with not having any press conferences.
By not being there.
By not being there. Yeah, we knew this was gonna happen. No, so that's pretty good shit, man. So let's see what else we got here, man. Chris Hall has another question. Shout out, Chris. He said, now that Titanfall is in slow mo, let me just rephrase that. For some people, it's in slow mo, not for everybody. We're trying to be subjective here, trying to be objective. So, what game are you most hyped for this year? So let's go ahead and start with you, Xbot.
Oh man, I already said it. Forza Horizon 3, man. With having all these, like you said, it's the little details sometimes. And Playground and Turn 10, they already know how to do car physics. Just to give you an example of what they put into this game, when talking about the Australian sky, they literally had people in the outback, like camped out night after night. They said that they were getting spiders off of their cameras and stuff like that, because you know how bad like Australia is with like poisonous everything. Right? They had people camped out overnight for like days at a time just to make sure they got the sky right for this game. So when they put in all these little details, I already know they got the driving physics down pat. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. Then you add in the stuff like the Groove Music Station, the ability to create my own specifications for races and have everybody play them, stuff like that. Hands down, man, that's my most anticipated right
I
now.
also heard that they used Rare's engine for the water, or like something like Rare let them borrow the physics
Simulation.
engine for like the water, the simulation, water simulation. And
It's
we
good
know
to be
how good
first
Sea of
party, man.
Thieves water looks. Yeah, no. I'm just saying though, like I heard that, I was like, holy mother of
Dude,
God, because
not only that, the detail of the game, like when you come across like the ponds or the little lakes within Australia, there's an algae there that makes the water red, right? It's an actual algae in the water, and down to that detail is in the game. Like when you hit the water, like you'll see like the areas that have that algae, the water will be red. It's
yeah, that's a
amazing.
trip, man.
That's pretty cool.
They go above and beyond. It's great to have Microsoft behind you. You're a first party studio, man. Like, you got that bankroll. You could do
Oh
those
yeah,
type of things. But yeah, they've definitely been stepping up their game. Forza Horizon 3, like GKB said earlier, I really feel like it's gonna be special. 2 was great. 2 was awesome, but I think 3 is gonna be definitely next level shit here. So, what about you, GKB? What you got on the list?
I have everything on the list. Let's be honest here. I'm getting every game coming out this holiday. Look,
You
I'm
got
a
to
big
take out a
shooter
payday
guy.
loan, man.
Yeah, I'm a big shooter
no,
guy.
don't do those, man.
I love all those shooters and everything like that. But I'm really excited for ReCore and South Park Fractured But Whole. I
Hey.
think those are going to be some really cool games. On the step back to what Xbox was saying about Forza Horizon 2, like it's kind of funny. Like I watch IGN's the Unlock podcast. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's eh. But the girl on there from Australia, she was talking about Forza Horizon. She got to go to Playground and see the stuff. And she was saying like all that stuff is in Australia, like so that's really cool that she was like, oh yeah, I remember this place and I remember that place. That's pretty awesome. So
Hmm.
Yeah, that's that attention to detail, man. That's insane. What
yeah,
they're doing with that franchise, man. I can what the next Forza is going to be look like, the actual, Forza 7, whatever you want to call it.
It'll come out
But
around
if that's the
time of the
time,
Scorpio, man.
yeah, that thing's going to be fucking insane, man. It's going to be crazy. So what about you, Fred?
Oh man, so many games coming out. I guess for me, Battlefield. Obviously, I think I mentioned that earlier. And ReCore, and I'm also like, I mean, Gears. I mean, how could you not want to play
I was gonna
Gears?
say, if nobody says Gears, man, Foxfire
Yeah,
is
we
gonna
didn't
have a
mention.
temper tantrum, bro.
Yeah. And another game, kind of like off the radar that a lot of people aren't talking about, is Everspace. I've been wanting to
oh
play that.
yeah, Everspace.
Man, you know what? I keep hearing that game looks better and better. The more and more I hear from it, I think it's kind of taken that especially with what's going on with like No Man's Sky and everybody kind of being disappointed with the space exploration shooter or whatever you want to call it type game. I know this is more of a traditional space shooter type game. It's not. I don't know how much exploration it is. You're going to be doing, but the game looks incredible. Like the trailers and the screenshots are just looking crazy. I believe they're using that new Unreal Engine. I think they're using Unreal Engine. But that fucking game looks insane. Have you guys seen any new stuff from Everspace?
It's coming on preview, isn't it? Like here pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I think so. It's coming to preview pretty soon.
Yeah,
I'm
I
picking
know
that
it's
bitch
going
up.
to game preview. I haven't seen
Yeah.
too much on it yet. Like,
Anybody know a price point? Anybody heard a
I'm
price
still
point?
catching up on trailers and stuff, man.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm definitely interested in that game. Definitely. All right. So let's see what else we got here. Yeah. Shout out Chicken Spaghetti. He just said it hits the game preview next month. So I'm
Okay.
definitely gonna pick that bad boy up, man. At least
And
give
it's
it
Play
give
Anywhere
it a look.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's gonna be awesome. We'll take two more questions, and we're gonna go ahead and close out the podcast, everybody. So two more questions. And then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Let's see. Let's see what else we have here in the chat. I know I missed a few back. Mm, let's see. Anything else in here? I know I may have missed some back here.
I thought somebody said something about Prey.
Prey trailer.
Prey trailer. They like the Prey trailer.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Okay. Hmm. Trying to find one more here, one or two more, and then we're gonna get out of here. Uh, let's see. They talking about the Splinter Cell GKB.
Oh boy, let's do it.
Oh man,
Yo,
here
it's
we go with
funny.
the
Like
Splinter Cell. Is
GKB known for Splinter Cell, She-Wolf's known for Titanfall, and I'm known for Halo.
Halo.
that Halo? Yes,
Got the trifecta, bro.
Yeah, right.
Trifecta, man, for sure. So is that? So speaking of Splinter Cell, so I'm assuming him going back to the franchise is them pretty much confirming that a game's gonna be made at some point.
Yeah, I think they're already working
Yeah,
on
at
it.
some point, man.
They're already working on it.
I hope they kind of go back to its roots, like the first kind of
Yeah.
Splinter Cell, and really get back and really get back to like the core stealth element. Like the first Splinter Cell had me hooked for
Speaking my language,
the
brother.
longest time. Yeah.
Yeah, the last one was a little Michael Bay-ish. A lot of explosions, a lot of stuff going on. Rather than that's you still had that stealth aspect, but it was a great game. But it was a little a little bit off from what we typically see from Splinter Cell. So I'm gonna throw this one at you, GKB.
Yeah, let's do
what
this.
changes would you like to see in Splinter Cell, man? I know it's like catnip, man.
Dude, I'm kind of like, I'm honestly like on the train that Xbox was talking there is I really want to see them reboot the franchise and go back to like Chaos Theory and all that kind of stuff. Go back to the slower pace, the really stealthy, take out the guy kind of thing. I really enjoyed that gameplay. But I'm they're gonna have to update some of the stuff for the player base these days and stuff. They can't do some of that old stuff back in the day. People probably rage quit and stuff and not play it. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited that they got Ironside back to do the voice. That's a key component for Sam Fisher. You can't do Sam without him. They've already tried and it sucked.
It sucked, yeah.
It's like
I'm
having
really
somebody
excited for
different doing Master Chief, man.
Exactly.
Oh hell no! Good lord, how I feel dirty.
Well, look at
Don't
Metal
ever
Gear
say that.
Solid. Like they did
Yeah.
Keith Sutherland, and that wasn't right, man. They should have just
Yeah, that wasn't right. Yeah, how dare you even mention Master Chief? Oh.
But
Yeah, that
I
is-
can relate to that though, man. I see
Yeah.
exactly where GKV is coming with
Yeah.
with Splinter Cell, how much he loves it, and I kind of tried to relate it to myself. If they tried to put somebody else in the place of Master Chief for his voice, I would look at them like they just grew like the third eyeball out of their. What? Nah, don't do that, man.
So,
They took Mario's
so-
mustache and gave him a soul patch. What the fuck? This is
What the hell's going on here? Yeah. Yeah, so GKB, Mr. Solo Dolo got a question specifically for you. He said, would you want them to bring back the multiplayer like Double Agent? He said he liked it because it was unique.
Yeah, I want Spies vs. Mercs, man. That was a lot of fun. It's one of the better multiplayers. You don't really see that anymore in a lot of the newer games. So yeah, I would definitely like to see that kind of stuff for sure.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I didn't play much of the multiplayer. I remember it, but I didn't play much of it.
You keep throwing those Splinter Cell questions down there, we'll stay all night long.
Yeah. I think the
All right,
most
everybody.
multiplayer I played was Pandora Tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one too. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. He said the only one he didn't like was Conviction. Okay, well, that one was pretty cool.
Mhm.
All right. So I think we got time for one more question, everybody. So make it a good one. We got time for one more question before we go ahead and get out of here. So we need a really, really good question,
Who's gonna hit
everybody.
that
Shout out to
golden
everybody.
question?
Yeah, shout out to everybody who's in here rocking out with us. Like I said before, appreciate you guys hanging in there. We started a little bit late, but we got rolling. So one more question. We'll go ahead and get out of here. Before we even do that, before we take the question, shout out to everybody on Twitter that rocks out with us here, especially the Shop Podcast. I want to do this because things have been moving kind of fast with GKB, She-Wolf, Asthmatic, Predator. Those are kind of my compatriots. We're kind of a tight-knit circle, and they're more like family to me than actual friends. So I want to shout you guys out, because you guys have been doing awesome, man. You two Xbot, you with your next podcast and everything you're doing, you guys are growing so fast. And man, I'd love to see this as far as the Xbox community supporting one another. And all you guys are doing great things. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there, before we even move on and took the last question. So
Yeah, it's funny, but like we
let's
talk
see.
a lot about that stuff like in pre-show and stuff on all the other podcasts, and it's fantastic how strong like this community is, and it's all because of the fans too, man. They support us, and we love them. We do everything we can for them. So I always like to give it back to them as well.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude.
Definitely.
They are what power us at Next Podcast to kind of keep trying to do more things. You know what I'm saying? Not
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
like we keep trying to evolve. We keep trying to there's
Break
like a
boundaries.
yeah, there's like a whole list of stuff that we want to do, and we're just like trying to implement getting that stuff out there. But the community is absolutely great. I know if I can pretty much say if we didn't get this all started, I didn't even meet BLAM until later on, and I'm absolutely glad I did. Like everybody on this podcast, Console Corner, Xbox Nation, TXR, I could go on and on, man. Like everybody that does this, man, is just so awesome and so supportive that I mean,
Absolutely.
it leaves me speechless sometimes, dude.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
crazy. It's crazy. It's funny because when I started doing the podcast, when I started this, like back, it's been almost a year
Almost a
now
year,
to the
yeah.
day, almost a full
Nice.
year. And like there was very little. There was some, BGST obviously, which is shout out to everybody in BGST. They kind of got the ball rolling. Some people
Mhm.
don't like to. People kind of like to play them to the left sometimes, but they did kind of get the ball rolling a lot, with the podcast and Xbox specific topics and things like that. So
And they
shout
took
out to
them
them
lumps for us
at
for sure.
BGST and everybody. Yeah, they took a
Yeah, they
lot of them
definitely
early
did.
on. They
Oh
were
my
taking them
goodness.
grenades in the field, man. But shout out to Next Gen and Crap and Mooch and Showstopper, Worry Word, all those guys that kind of got the ball rolling. But it's grown a lot. It's grown a lot, and I'm super hype and impressed with everybody that's doing it now. And I've met so many awesome people doing it. It's just been it's been a huge pleasure, and shout out to everybody who's a fan of all of the podcasts, and it's just nice to see a community come together. From where it started, where it was very little, it was very few people actually doing it, to where it is now, where there's so many. You can get Xbox news from everywhere now. To where when I started, I was still looking on IGN for Xbox news. Like that's how bad it was. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna
I
find
was
nothing
looking
there.
at IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku. I was still digging around there looking for Xbox specific stuff. So now we can get it from. There's so many places you can get quality, unfiltered, unbiased type information from, especially on the Xbox brand. So we really appreciate you guys rocking
Did
out,
you
man. So
did you say
uh,
unbiased? I am king neutral, by the way.
hey,
Oh man.
hey, put
I got
that
a
on,
good question
that
here.
on a shirt.
King neutral.
Go ahead.
Probably you must not have watched Game of Thrones. You know what happens to kings on that show.
That's why I don't watch it, man.
I think this
Go
What?
is the
ahead, GK.
great.
You said you had a question.
This is the great ending question, I think, man. What was the game from Gamescom for all of us? Like, what was the standout winner to you guys?
If I searched
I
for
guess
anything, I think it was for me ReCore.
Nice.
ReCore for you. Okay, that's a good choice. Any follow up to that? That's why you think?
I mean, again, I had to look for everything, so one of the things I looked for was ReCore.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what I saw. That's why I'd already seen Battlefield 1 and everything like that. So I did like, again, I'm a huge Ghost Recon fan, so I liked the customization in Ghost Recon when they showed that trailer. But for me, everything I saw that stood out for me was ReCore.
Cool.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna say Mafia 3. Honestly,
Oh man, you took it.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were
that
gonna say
game is just gonna turn heads when it comes out, man. That story, that era in the U.S. history and stuff, it's just, man, it's gonna be a friggin' explosion when that thing drops.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Mafia 2.
Yeah, they are.
I gotta get this feeling people aren't really.
I don't think they're sleeping on it anymore, man.
Not anymore.
Any people
Yeah.
I talk to, like, that is definitely on people's radar. Just the realism of having it in 1968 down south, having more of an African American as a lead character in that position at that time, dealing
Yeah.
with those. Oh my goodness, that's
Vietnam
a
War and
no-brainer.
everything. Oh my gosh. dude.
No-brainer.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack, we were talking about soundtrack
They-
and Forza and all that.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
man.
Yeah. It's insane. It's insane. So for me,
Doesn't that game
Um,
release like with? Go ahead, Blam. I'll ask that question.
no,
later.
you good. Go ahead. No, you good. Go ahead.
Doesn't Mafia release like right when Gears comes out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
At the
it's
same
October.
time.
It's not October.
I think there's a couple
Like the same
days,
time.
but it's like right there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. right next to it. So for me, Mafia 3 was a big one too because what I saw, what I heard coming out of, and shout out to Jazz one more time too because he did some great write ups on the games he played. He's on Windows Central. Jazz, so follow him on Twitter too. He did some great write-ups on a lot of these games we're talking about. Actually, if you want to get some more information on them, but that game, and I think Sea of Thieves also too.
Yeah.
Everybody they got to experience Sea of Thieves walked away with a better appreciation of the game because I mean a lot of us like are hoping that it's this kind of game or that kind of game. We have a lot of expectations for it, but I know everybody that got hands on with it said it was so fun. That's what I kept hearing. Fun, 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 fun.
Well, have you
It
seen
was
like
incredibly fun.
I'm
The
sorry.
ghost
Yeah, I
ship thing.
No, like the
Go ahead. No, you're
just
good.
like if you saw like the stream like the day they were streaming at Gamescom and the days after, like the one thing I took away, and me and Mooch went back and forth on Xbox Nation about this. We had a good debate, but the thing to take away there is after everyone played the game, no matter what happened, if they lost, their ship sunk, they had a smile on their face. They were having a good
That's
time.
awesome.
That's what we need in video games, man.
Yep.
That's what
And
it's all about.
you know what's funny about that? What they're playing right now is completely stripped down. You talk to Craig Duncan on Twitter and stuff like that. You get into there is so much more to that game. Once you see exactly what it is with all like the mythical creatures, with all like the hidden treasures and stuff like that is in this world, it is going to make your head explode. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, this
I
game
think I, I
is
think
going to
we've
be
only
absolutely
scratched the
insane.
surface. I think we've only seen like Xbox said like scratching because I had questions too. I was asking
Yeah.
I think it was you GKB last podcast we did about the treasure and things like that. You were like, well, shit, I don't really know. I'm like, well, I hope it's in the game, but I've gotten some additional information from watching the stream and just reading up a little bit
Yeah.
more online. But like you said, the biggest takeaway from that game is the fact that everybody's just smiling, having fun. I feel like Rare is back to what they're doing. Like they're making a game that
Exactly.
they're really passionate about. Not saying that the games previous, they weren't because they made a lot of Connect games up until recently. I don't think they were as invested in those games as they are in this one. Like I feel like this is true Rare, back into their form. So I really appreciate and the water, man. Let's not even come on.
Yeah, that water.
That water, man.
Man.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Best water I ever seen in a video game. The water looks crazy. But what about you, Xbot, as far as what you're seeing coming out of the best game or game of Gamescom for you?
Man, I was definitely
You can
I
say
still
Mafia,
gotta go.
bro.
Yeah, no, I still got to go Mafia 3. It's just the realism of that game is just absolutely amazing. I think they got the era, the 1968 era. A lot of games they try to go and depict an era in time. Whether it's the 50s, whether it's the 70s or something like that. I think that they hit 1968. I think they hit a bullseye with what they're doing with that at that time and down south in Louisiana. The game looks really big. I saw all the wards and stuff and what those different wards had to offer. You could go into the swamps, into where there's a lot of people like doing voodoo and stuff like that. You could go into like the Mardi Gras area, and there's so much content. And I think the story, it's one of those stories that's like an onion, man. You peel back one layer, there's another layer. Peel back that, there's another layer, and it just kind of keeps going. And it seems like a game that, like Grand Theft Auto 5, everybody talks about online, right? I like the story to Grand Theft Auto 5. I like having that, it's not really that this is good or this is bad, but they deal with all those shades of gray in the middle, and I think Mafia 3 is going to do that.
Definitely. It's sounding like, from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing, and just like I said before, what I'm even reading, that's definitely going to be one of those Game of the Year candidates that we see. It's going to be on a lot of people's lists, early lists. So definitely. So looks like that's it, everybody. Look like the podcast has ran its course, and like I said before, man, I want to appreciate you guys. Say thank you for you guys coming out, rocking out with us. Everything you guys do here for the Shop Podcast, everything you guys do for GKB Pred, Xbox and his podcast, the Console Corner, Xbox After Party. You guys always come out and show love. We wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and let the panel go ahead tell them everybody where they're going to be at, what we're going to be doing after this, because I know we got the community night, game night coming up too. So I'll go ahead and start with you, GKB, because I know you got some extra things you got to say about that. So.
Oh yeah. Thanks everybody. We really appreciate the community coming out, watching the show. It's all about you guys. That's why we do it. I'm GKB. You can find me Gamers Knows Best on Twitter and YouTube. We'll be on Console Corner on Tuesday, Xbox Nation, then back on Shop Podcast on Saturday. Tonight, as Blam mentioned, we're going to be doing community game time, and it's going to be Titanfall 2. Please join the GKB network so you guys can hop in there. It's really cool, that network thing. It's going to be a lot easier to get into games and stuff. So come out, have a good time with us. So, see ya.
Awesome. And Xbot, where can everybody find you, brother?
Hey, I try to make it easy for everybody. Of course, my YouTube channel, Xbot448. Definitely, if you haven't checked out the channel, definitely do so. Got a bunch of content up there. If you like what you see, definitely hit that subscribe button. But across the board, Xbox Live, Twitter, even Twitch every once in a while, even though I do like to live stream to YouTube more than that. But it's all Xbot448. Of course, every Saturday, 6 p.m., we have the next podcast. I'm also on Crossfire every Friday at, I say 6-ish, because you never know. It's usually around 6. But with Mooch and all them, I have an absolute blast doing these. PTK Blam, Pred, GKB, thank you for having me on. I love coming on here. We got that back-to-back thing going. And I appreciate you still sending out the invites, and whenever I can, man, I'll definitely come on with you guys.
For sure, awesome, man. You're always welcome, man. You already know what it is, man. Once you on here one time, man, it's like family after that.
Fam.
For sure.
Nice.
So go ahead, Pred. Let everybody know where they can find you at, man.
You guys can find me on my channel here on YouTube at the Xbox After Party. I have a video I'm gonna be uploading tomorrow morning. I've been doing a lot of streaming on Beam lately. I've been doing some Titanfall.
Beam.
Some what the hell game was I playing? Madden the other day. So it's Predator_H2OS. You can find me on Twitter under the same. You can find me here on PTK's channel.
I didn't.
Awesome. Okay, and everybody, you guys know me, the host with the most, PTK Blam, man. You guys can find me. It's across the board. Like, I try to make it easy, like Xbox said. I keep everything PTK Blam here on YouTube, on Twitter, on Xbox Live. Rock out with me. Got some more videos coming out this week, and we're trying to do some different things here on the channel. Gonna be linking up with GKB, Pred probably too soon. I'm trying to figure some things out. So I appreciate you guys rocking out with us, man, this evening. You guys take it easy. Please do come to the community game night. They put on a great goddamn show. It's a great time. You just get in there, you rock out. They try and fit everybody or as many people as the game can possibly hold in.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can't get to everybody, but they do
First
a great
episode.
job. She-Wolf and GKB, yeah, they do a great job of trying to get everybody involved, and it's just great for the Xbox community. So come out, support, play some games, have a drink, shoot the shit. So we out of here, everybody, and as GKB would say,
Like we always do, take care of your fellow gamers.
all right, everybody, we out of here, man. You guys have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. We out this bitch. Take it easy.